proceed. I think network was poor, so this part 2 will continue from where we ended. So I just read the questions. We got finished with question 5, which was talking about the towns and their regions. So we said Sambilima is in the south region, Obala is in the center region, Balam is in the east region, Babam in the east region, Fum in the northwest region, Tombel, I said, is in the southwest region, Gide, I said in the far north region, Meganga, I said is in the Adamawa region. We have Barry Bakem is in the west region. Then is it Kotodo? Yes, I said in the center region, right? So that was all for that part. Question 6. We need the toll-free number for Gendarmerie, for the National Gendarmerie. So I would give you the toll-free number for Gendarmerie, and I'll give you an assignment to find out the toll-free number for the police, for the firefighters, that's sapeur pompier, and the toll-free number for the Ministry of the Public Health. Yes, so that's it. Toll-free number for CONAC. So let me give you the toll-free number for Gendarmerie is 1,500. When we say a toll-free number, this is just a phone number which is gratuit, is free. I said earlier, if there francophone here, let me know les candidats francophones là. Si vous êtes là, signalez-moi. Comme ça, je vais traduire en français. Je suis francophone d'origine. On continue. Toll-free numbers for Gendarmerie, they are those numbers that when you call, it is free and they render services to you. The police have toll-free numbers, so you find out Gendarmerie is 1,500. And you won't really find yourself going for the exam without knowing this toll-free number. When do you call? You don't call to disturb them. You call to report crimes, injustice, to report how can I say, if you are somewhere and then that place has a lot of insecurity, and then you are suspecting some kind of activity, some kind of actions, you can call the toll-free number. It's for your security. And the National Gendarmerie, they are there for that. Any suspicious activity, or maybe you are somewhere that something is happening and it's becoming something uneasy, you call. So that's it. You also call to report crimes. Someone is breaking into your house. Maybe by the time the person will succeed to break the gate, before the person reaches the door, the Gendarmerie, they are there already. So that's it. Let me see. What is COVID-19? That's the question. Now, you should also know about diseases, right? Because it's part of general knowledge. When we say general knowledge, it means la culture générale, everything, general knowledge. You need to know, is knowledge about everything. So you can find anything on your general knowledge paper. So COVID-19, we want to know the cause of COVID-19 in question 7. I'm going to say that COVID-19 here is a respiratory tract infection. According to all the analysis that were given in 220, 221, mainly in 220, when the virus COVID-19 got into Cameroon and started infecting lots of people, there were explanations and then preventive measures against COVID-19. So that's it. It's a respiratory tract infection, and then since it's a respiratory infection virus, it affects your respiratory system, particularly your lungs. And then the symptoms of that COVID-19 was what? Fever, cough, sneezing, and so on. Yes. And then also causing severe pneumonia. That was another another symptom of COVID-19. And even how do we say, respiratory challenges, respiratory failure. They say when you wake up in the morning, try to hold your breath for 10 seconds. Yes, and for a normal human being, it will work so well above that 10 seconds self. But if to know that you are in good health, right? Because it was a global pandemic disease, and a pandemic disease is a disease that affects a greater geographical area of land within a short period of time. The next question is asking for what? Accredited COVID-19 treatment centers in Cameroon. The main accredited COVID-19 treatment centers in Cameroon were the CHU in Yaoundé. The CHU in Yaoundé is what? CHU in Yaoundé, that is the Yaoundé University Hospital Center. Yes, it's here at those who are in Yaoundé, or those who know Yaoundé, or have ever been in Yaoundé, around Melende, around, in fact, around beside the University of Yaoundé 1 University. Then we have La Quintini de Douala, La Quintini Hospital in Douala. We had Douala General Hospital. These were the main accredited centers where patients that were reported COVID-19 positive, they were taken there. And these hospitals, they were authorized by the Ministry of Public Health that they can receive COVID-19 patients and provide, they will test, they can provide medical care, and then they will isolate you from the public so that you don't also infect others. Then preventive measures for COVID-19. You remember so well, it was in March March 220. It was in March 220 that the Prime Minister, head of government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, appeared on the national TV and gave a clear reading of the preventive measures against COVID-19 under the supreme order of His Excellency, the Head of State, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Paul Biya. He ordered for the mandatory wearing of face mask, otherwise some people call it nose mask. He said not, how can we say, no gathering of more than 50 persons, so that if they are to die, at least less than 50 people should die. It should not be a global death. All right, regular hand washing with clean water and soap. In fact, clean running water and soap, using hand sanitizer, physical distancing of at least 1 meter, right? 1 meter. Large gatherings were closed. Large gatherings were closed. That's to say that marketplaces were clearly being monitored. Bars, schools were closed. Schools, both public schools and private schools, were closed. Churches also, it applied on churches such that no more than 50 people in one session. So that's how schools began to have shifts. The first shift, second shift, churches, I don't know, first service, second service, mosque also. That's the next question. Country that eliminated Cameroonian women football team from Tokyo Olympics. I read the question again. Which country eliminated Cameroonian women football team from Tokyo Olympic? They have not mentioned the year, but the year was 2020. For those of you that are following news, and for those who have not been following news today, I'm your journalist. I'm telling you, it was 2020 during the takeoff, the playoff for the Tokyo Olympic. The country that eliminated Cameroon was the country known as Chile, Chile. Okay, the last CHAN tournament. Okay, the last CHAN tournament. The CHAN tournament is African Nation Championship, right? Yes. So the abbreviation is in French. The last tournament took place in 2023 in the month of February, and it took place in Algeria. So the last championship was 2023. So that is it. And then during that time, domestic leagues they played, and then Senegal, the They are the ones who won the last edition that was held in Algeria. Okay, next question. Question 20. What? Question 12. Okay. Question 12 reads: Cameroon's first African Cup of Nations was a victory. Cameroon's first African Cup of Nations victory was in which year and in which country? Cameroon's first African Cup of Nations victory was in which year and was in which country? The country is what? Ivory Coast. So, okay, I'm seeing comments. So, some people are commenting. Let me see the duration of this class. All right, we have about 30 minutes more. All right, so I'll try to be fast because we have a lot of things to discuss. We have a lot of things to look at. All right, so okay, it was in Ivory Coast and it was in the year 1984. 1984. Okay, the next question is about the Olympic gold medal for Cameroonian football team. The Cameroon defeated Spain in the final of the gold medal, and then they won the medal. They won the gold medal, and this marked a historic achievement in African football. Yes, so it took place in Australia. The next question says we should give the meaning of the following abbreviation. These are abbreviations. When I get to important things, I must tell you, this is very important, okay? WTO, World Trade Organization. IMF, International Monetary Fund. ILO, International Labour Organization. WHO, World Health Organization. You should know the meaning of CEMAC, know the meaning of UNESCO, know the meaning of FINASCO, know the meaning of all those abbreviations. No, the meaning of UNO and so on. Those are simple ones. UNO, AU, and so on. Okay, we also have WFP. WFP means what? World Food Program. We have CEMAC. CEMAC means Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa. I repeat, Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa. CEMAC. The CEMAC, and Cameroon is a member state of the CEMAC. All right, and as a matter of fact, Cameroon has once been the headquarter, the CEMAC headquarter. So that's it, the Economic and Monetary Community of Central Africa. Then we have ECOWAS. ECOWAS means the Economic Community for West African States. ECOWAS, Economic Community for West African States. We have AFDB, AFDB. So AFDB means African Development Bank. We have BIAC. BIAC means Bank of Central African States. We have CNPS. CNPS. Some of you, all right. Some of you are registered in the CNPS, right? So at least here is not too strange to you. CNPS means what? National Social Security Fund. National Social Security Fund. And then we have the CEEAC. The CEEAC, which is the Economic Community for Central African States. Now we need to name, I spoke about CEMAC. Let us name the member countries of CEMAC. These are things that got very important. These are things that when you are writing, especially your exam, it is there. Yes, CEMAC. So what are the states, or the member states that make us CEMAC? The highest contributor within the CEMAC zone is Cameroon. So we have Cameroon, we have Central African Republic, that's South Africa. Central African Republic, we have Congo Brazzaville, we have Gabon, we have Equatorial Guinea, and we have Chad. I repeat, the member states of CEMAC, these are things you never forget. We have Cameroon, we have Central African Republic, we have Congo Brazzaville, we have Gabon, we have Equatorial Guinea, and we have Chad. 6 member states. Question 16. We need to name some commercial banks in Africa. What are those commercial banks in Africa? Let's name them. Afriland First Bank. Let me start with my. It's okay. We have Afriland First Bank. I'm shouting. I'm talking and shouting. So let me cool down. All right, we have Afriland First Bank. We have Eco Bank. Yes, or let me, since they say commercial banks in Cameroon, when you name them, you can add Cameroon at the end. For example, Eco Bank Cameroon. If you like, but the bank itself, right? Eco Bank. We have the UBA. UBA means what? The United Bank of Africa. UBA. Then we have Société Générale Cameroun. SGC. Société Générale Cameroun. These are commercial banks in Cameroon. Commercial banks in Cameroon. Okay. Question 17. Let's name international airports in Cameroon. There are many airports in Cameroon, right? But one those international one is recently I even heard that there's an airport in Bafut. I said, but now with these issues like that, is Bafut, is the airport still functional? Those of you who are from Bafut, just comment. Let me see a comment. I learned recently that there's an airport in Bafut, and I was kind of surprised a little, but maybe since I've not been going to my village, maybe there's an airport there too. I don't know. So international airport in Cameroon, we have 2 in Yaoundé, right? We have, but first of all, we can talk of the Yaoundé Simalé Airport. You cannot talk of international airport and then you don't mention the Simalé Airport. Now where are you coming from? You are talking ex nihilo nihil fit. So we have the Yaoundé Simalé Airport. We have the Douala International Airport. In fact, let me not say Yaoundé Simalé Airport. It is Yaoundé Simalé International Airport. We have the Douala International Airport. We have Garoua International Airport. We have Marwa Salak International Airport. Good. Question 18. We have to name we have to name hydroelectric dams. Dams. I hope you know the meaning of dams. Dams are used in the production of electricity. All right. So they build dams in water because you know that electricity is generated from water. So they build dams in water, and then what they do is that they construct a wall. The dam is built with a thicker bottom, and the top is how can I say, less thicker bottom than the top. So, and when water comes, water has pressure. When water comes with that much pressure, it rather hits on the dam. It does not flow through. They create turbines, which the water, when they place the dam, now the aperture is small, such that water passes through the aperture with a lot of pressure. The pressure causes the turbine to turn, and the turbine turns very fast, generating electricity now that is taken to domestic home, taken to what? Companies, industries that need electricity to function. So let us name those dams. Number 1, we have the Lagdo Dam. But now, will I only name the dam? It will help you, but to help you better, I'll name the dam and I'll tell you where the dam is found. The Lagdo Dam, North region. The Songlulu Dam in the Littoral region. To spell Lagdo is Lagdo, Lagdo. To spell Songlulu, you're supposed to spell Song. Then you add Lulu. You spell Song now, S-O-N-G. Then L-O-U. The Songlulu Dam is found in the Littoral region. We have Edea. And that one is not strange. Any Cameroonian, either you are born in Cameroon or you live in Cameroon and you ever die in Cameroon, you know about the Edea Dam. It is found where? Also in the Littoral region. Then we have is there a dam in Lompanga? Tell me in the comment section. Then we have the Bakao Dam. Is found also in the no, this one is found in the Adamawa region. Good. The Bakao Dam. To spell it is MBAKAUO. Sorry, MBAKAOU. All right, it's found in the Adamawa region. Next question. This is where now You have to understand a lot of things, okay? Like the question reads, what is the presidential term of office in Cameroon? According to the Constitution of the Republic of Cameroon, put it there. According to the Constitution of the Republic of Cameroon, Law number 96/06 of 18 January 1996, to amend the Constitution of 2nd June 1972 as amended and supplemented by Law number 2008/001 of 14 April 2008 to govern the Cameroon Constitution, the mandate of the President of the Republic is 7 years renewable. What do I mean by 7 years renewable? The Constitution says that the President of the Republic shall serve a term of 7 years in office. It does not end there. The Constitution continues to say that word. He shall be eligible for re-election. So that's it. It means that the President of the Republic, once voted into office, his term of office is valid for a period of 7 years and he is eligible for re-election. Now, another question they can ask you from here is what are the functions of the President of the Republic? Les rôles principaux du Président de la République. What are the powers of the President? What are the prerogatives of the President of the Republic? What are the power of the Prime Minister? These are things that you should know them. All right. So, the President of the Republic, he is the head of state. He is the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. He is the Chairman of the Higher Judicial Council. The President of the Republic, he has that power he has statutory authority and he has a regulatory power. What do we mean by regulatory power? The power to make law. So the President of the Republic can make law by way of a decree, can also make law by way of an ordinance, according to Article 31 of the Constitution. So that is it. The President of the Republic promulgates the bills voted at Parliament. So when bills are voted by the Parliament, those bills are brought before the President of the Republic for promulgation. He will be the one to promulgate the bills into law. Bring it. Good, thank you. Now the next question. The interim president the interim head of state. The next question is what? In case of the presidential vacancy, in case of vacancy at the office of the president, who assumes duty? Who assumes interim duty at the president of the republic? At the presidency of the republic? Simple. The interim president, the interim president is who? The president of the Senate. So in case of incapacity, when if the president of the republic is permanently incapacitated, duly ascertained by the Constitutional Council, the president of the Senate becomes the interim president of Cameroon until the next president is voted into office. So that is it. And what can create vacancy at the presidency? When we say vacancy, it means that there is no president for now. What can create that vacancy? Number one is death, if the president dies. Number two is prolonged illness to a point where he is incapacitated, meaning that he can no longer observe his functions. Okay, number three is resignation. If the president resigns, he said that no, the load is much. And the people have a headache everywhere. He will do what? He will resign. And if that happens, the president of the Senate becomes the interim president. And then until the next election is held. So the mechanism is not part of the program, how the interim president organizes the next election, and then what he can do, what he cannot do. Let me tell you now. At least that one is important before we go to the number of cities and so on. No, we'll go to the number 21. So now, listen. As interim president, he cannot run for the office of the president. That's one thing. So the president of the Senate or his vice, because they said the Constitution says that if the president of the Senate is also incapacitated, then his vice will become the interim president of the Republic. But now, during that time, the interim president cannot amend the Constitution. That's number one. Number two, cannot run for the office of the president. That's number two. Number three, cannot change the composition of the government. You will not come and enter there, you are just interim president. Just become a small vacancy now, just because of that. You now change a prime minister, minister of justice, minister of higher education. You just position your people. It's not like that. Number of city halls in Cameroon. What do we mean by city hall? We are talking about community halls or community city halls. We have 14 urban community city halls in Cameroon. Number 22. What is the name of the institution that is in charge of election? Simple. Elections Cameroon. Elecam. But now let me explain some things to you. Elecam is not the only institution that is in charge of election. Number 1 is Elecam. Number 2 is the Ministry of Territorial Administration. And number 3 is what? The Constitutional Council. Is that okay? So now when they say chargé des élections, they are not specified here because there are 2 types of election. Anytime your opportunity to have me on camera, I say plenty of things because I don't just answer the question we have, I go to other things. 2 types of election that happen in Cameroon. We have what? National elections, that's type 1. We have regional and local election, that's type 2. So national election, there are those elections that affect the entire nation. For example, the presidential election, senatorial election, election of members of the National Assembly. Then we have what? Referendum operation. These are 4 national elections. Now, regional and local election, they are what? Election of the regional councillors. Election of what? Election of how do we call the mayors and municipal election. So now I would like you to also know that before Elecam was created, the affairs concerning election were handled by the Ministry of Territorial Administration. So Elecam came to take over some of these duties, but not all. So Elecam has its own role to play. They organize the election. They are the ones to organize the election. They are the ones to make all the equipment ready for on the electoral day when people come to vote. The cards are available, envelopes are available, the ballot boxes are available, everything, the officials, everything is intact. Elecam. The MINAT, Ministère de l'Administration Territoriale, they have a role to play. The Constitutional Council, they have their own role to play. What do? They proclaim the result of national election. And then they also give hearing to national election electoral dispute. What are electoral disputes? Disputes that arise as a result of a national election. So you can affirm with me, we have pre-election electoral dispute, and these are disputes that come up even before the election. You can confirm with me that for the 2025 October 12th presidential election in Cameroon, even before the day of election, the disputes were already being brought before the Constitutional Council, contesting different one thing or the other. During the election and after the election, there were disputes. Political parties in Cameroon, that's question 23. Question 23, political parties in Cameroon. Question, what is a political party? I told you that you'll be writing, does not mean that I'll be giving you time to write. You are writing on your own. A political party is a group of organized persons. A group of organized persons who has as objective to acquire, exercise, and consolidate political powers. What do I mean by that? The objective of a political party is to do what? To take power from the government and become the government. Okay? And do what the government is doing. So their objective is a group of organized persons with the objective to acquire, exercise, and consolidate political power. Now, you cannot, how can I say, political parties are different from pressure groups. For example, you have the Cameroon Civil Society Consortium of 2016 that led to the Anglophone crisis, right? The group of lawyers and teachers trade union. That's a trade union, that's a pressure group. It is different from a political party. A pressure group, they only pressure the government for the government to address a particular instance, a particular phenomenon or situation that is bothering them. Their objective is not to take power from the government. So that's the difference between a pressure group and a political party. I hope you get it. So now, there are more than 250 registered political parties in Cameroon. But they were going to name the most famous one. They have asked us to name them. So we'll start from the ruling political party, the almighty CPDM, Cameroon People Democratic Movement, the RDPC. RDPC. The CPDM political party was launched in the year 1985 in Bamenda. And by that time, Cameroon was operating under the one-party system. So the political party, CPDM, came to replace the CNU political party. So after that, with the coming of the birth of multipartism in Cameroon, came when Nijon Frundi, the founder of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF, in the early 90s, around 1991, 1992, he now came up with a political party, the SDF. It was it was not easy, you know. It left 6 people dead in Bamenda that same day. So it was also launched in Bamenda. So we have the CPDM, we have the SDF of the chairman of the CPDM is who? His Excellency President Paul Biya. The chairman of the SDF, we have the founder who is of late, Nijon Frundi. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And then the national chairman of the SDF today is who? Joshua Osinimbanu. Then we have the PCRN of Cabra Libin. Then now we have MRC of Maurice Kamto now. We have the MRC, Cameroon Renaissance Movement of Maurice Kamto. We have the FSNC of Issa Chiroma Bakari. We have Bello Buba Magarina. His own political party is UD what? Something like that. Then the UDC. That's it. Then what again? There are plenty of political parties in Cameroon. We move on. I spoke of MRC. Manidem is another political party. Okay. Question: West African resistance fighters against Europeans. You know, when the European powers they were administering Africa. For example, Cameroon, we know about the native resistance. Is that now about the native resistance to German rule? So now we are not really talking about German rule, but we are looking at West African. You know, Cameroon is Central Africa now. Oh, you don't know? You don't understand? Okay. So if here now you come and they are naming those people that resisted the German in Cameroon, you are aware you are wrong. Because they are asking West African resistance. So we can talk of Haj Omar Tal. Haj Omar Tal, he resisted the expansion of France or French expansion. We can talk of Samori Touré. He resisted French colonization. We can also talk of who? The king of Dahomey, who also resisted French colonization. Now, political evolution. That's the next question. The political evolution of Cameroon. I have a lesson on this. I think those of you who enrolled for classes, this is what I'm going to say now here. It's going to be easy for you to understand, or something that you already know. Okay, we're talking about what? We're talking about the political evolution of Cameroon. So if we're talking about the political evolution of Cameroon, we should start as back as 1960, because the name Cameroon started making sense in 1960. Why? Because that is when Cameroon they got what they call independence. So La République du Cameroon got independence on the 1st of January 1960. And the Southern Cameroonian they got there still 1960, but 1st of October. And then in 1961 now there was a plebiscite, that's reunification, right? So if we want to talk about what the political evolution of Cameroon, we would first, it would take us back to 1919 when the League of Nations was still, how can I say, Cameroon was a mandated territory to the Britain and the France. So under the League of Nations in 1919, Cameroon was what partitioned between Britain and France as mandated territory under the League of Nations. And then under the United Nations organization, they were trust territories, because the United Nations brought up a policy that colonization to come to an end for there to be national peace. And you know that the United Nations organization, it popped up because of the failure of the League of Nations. Okay, now I've said that one. Now from there, I've spoken about 1961 when there was reunification. Should we end there? The answer is no. Well, after the reunification in 1972, there was a referendum and Cameroon became a unitary state. So Cameroon became what? The United Republic of Cameroon. Are we together? Cameroon became a unitary state. From there now in 1996, 2nd June, the constitution introduced decentralization to this form of state in Cameroon. So Cameroon now a decentralized unitary states. You understand now? Yeah, okay, I'm seeing comments. Keep the comments coming. Just continue pushing them. Some people that are in charge of reading those comments, then I'll answer. I'll talk about all your worries. Okay, can you imagine they're now asking you for what? Web browsers. Question 26. Web browsers. So what are web browsers? They are those software applications that what? How can I say? They are those application software that they help you to access information on the web. They help you to find web pages with those information that you need. For example, if you go on the internet and you search preparatory classes, you are looking for preparatory classes, academics will come up. They will bring you web pages. You search pamphlet for gendarme, it will come. So it is what? Search engine that look for those information and bring them, compile them, and push them to you. Example: Google, Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, etc. Okay, now question 27. Define moral depravity with examples. What is moral depravity? What is the depravity of moral? It is a degradation, a deterioration, a deviation from the ethics of moral life. So this is a society in which corruption is everywhere. There is high crime wave. Everybody wants to become now a scammer, a thief. Yes. All right. So you now see that there is what we call moral decadence or moral depravity, because people have begun to lose their moral consciousness. That is what? The depravity of moral. Example: prostitution. Prostitution, no matter the cause. Because during the lesson on prostitution, what did I say? Because I personally taught that lesson. Why? The lesson on prostitution, all the lecturers, they flee. Nobody wanted to teach it. So I'm the one who taught that lesson on prostitution. I said that when you see, people say, don't judge a book by the cover. Other people, they say, don't judge. Don't judge. But now, I came in to say that, yes, when you see anyone who is doing prostitution, because it is happening even till today, and then it will keep happening. It will not finish. When you see those who are into it, it's not because their situation is too bad. It is true there's social stigma, but sometimes if you sit them down and you want to listen to their story, you will see that it's really something. Some of them who are doing it, it's not as if they really grew up and then they had loved it. That I will become a prostitute. I remember we asked a question somewhere, what do you want to be? Someone said, a terrorist. He was thinking that military men are called terrorists. He wanted to become an army officer. Okay, so you see, they have reasons. Someone who is stealing. So there are some thieves that if you sit them down, you will see that before the person began stealing, the person went through a lot. You will see that if you are exposed to such things, maybe you can give a second thought to it. So that is it. But now, to a greater extent, all these things are what? Due to depravity of morals. It's due to what? Moral decadence. They are due to what we call moral deviation. You are deviated from morals. There are some of you, you get into my inbox and you're talking and then you're struggling to raise your voice. To me, that's moral decadence. You don't know how to respect elder ones. They don't teach you good morals when you were in school, even from home. So that's moral decadence. And let's just proceed. We can name some examples. Prostitution. We can name examples like stealing, pedophilia. Pedophilia is one. It's a moral decadence, right? We can name pedophilia. We can name stealing. We can name corruption. All right? Corruption. Okay. Corruption. Why? Let me not say the why. It should not be that Mr. Godby said this, said that. Okay. We have embezzlement. Money that is meant to construct road for Cameroonians to pass on. You carry that money into your private pocket. That's what we call embezzlement. It is wrong according to the law. And even morally wrong. Okay? So that's it. With all these things, they are done toward the depravity of morals, disobedience, disrespect of institutions, and so on. The list can continue. Nepotism, favoring people that are from your that you have a personal relation with them. People you know, you favor them. People come to your office, you serve people in different segments. Nepotism, favoritism, tribalism, depravity of moral. Okay, in Cameroon, the majority age is what? That's question 28. The majority age in Cameroon. You know that when you see any human being, any person that you may know, the person is either a major or a minor. For you to be for the majority, how can I say? For you to be considered a minor, starting from there, anybody less than 18 years is a minor. And this is in accordance with the Cameroon Civil Code. The Cameroon Civil Code provides that a minor, anybody less than 18 years of age is a minor. So from 18 years up, you are no longer a minor. You commit a crime, you have full responsibility for your action. But a minor will have diminished responsibility. Okay? So the age is what? 18 years. And I said it's according to what? The Cameroon Civil Code. There are a lot of things. If you must commit a crime, don't commit a crime with a minor. You want to go and steal, don't look for someone 15 years and initiate for stealing. Yes. And those of you married and unmarried men, if you must go out with other ladies, avoid minors. There is a reason for that. So if you want to hear, you will understand. Now, question 29. Countries bordering Cameroon. Countries that they share borders with Cameroon. So, Cameroon has, when you look at the map of Cameroon or the outline of Cameroon, we have, 6 neighboring countries. We have 6 neighboring countries. You have Nigeria on the west. Cameroon is bordered on the west by Nigeria. On the north, to the north, Cameroon is bordered by Chad to the north, and to the east. If you now look, to the east this way first. Let's turn this way. Cameroon is bordered by what? Central African Republic, and then Cameroon is bordered to the south by Congo and Gabon. Okay. Yeah, I forgot Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. Yes. So it's making 6. I named 5. 1, 2, 3. On the south, Cameroon now has 3 countries bordering by the south. That makes 6 now. We have Gabon, Congo, Brazzaville, and then we have what? Equatorial Guinea. Question 30. 100 grams of iron and 100 grams of cotton. Which one is heavier? Which one has a higher weight? That's what they're asking. Which one is denser? Which one is higher, having a greater density? Good, that's the better way to ask that question. 100 grams of iron and 100 grams of cotton. The answer is simple. The one that is having a greater density is 100 grams of iron. But now the weights, they are equal. The masses are equal because they are 100 gram, 100 gram. The weight equal, but the density, the thing that is having a small size, the density is bigger. So you see that iron, 100 gram of iron is just a small piece of iron. That's a greater density. But 100 gram of cotton, if you know what they call cotton, So what does it mean? Density is what? Directly proportional to mass, inversely proportional to the volume. So when mass increase, density increase. When volume increase, density drops. Question. The square of 1/4 of 1/3 of 12. Those of you that did not offer mathematics when you were in school, the question is good. The square of 1/4 of 1/3 of 12. So the square of 1/4 of 1/3 of 12 is simple. What do you start with? 1/3 of 12. 1/3 of 12 means 12 divided by 3. The answer is 4. 1/4 now of 4 is 12. 4 divided by 4 is 1. The square now of 1. 1 times 1, 1. The answer is what? 1. Now, what is the meaning of indem? Indem simply means what? It's a person or an object that has not suffered injury or harm. That's the meaning of indem. Question 33. The Yaoundé-Douala Highway construction project is under the Okay, we need to pick up a word that can fit in under the base. Okay, we can pick up a word now that will fit in here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the sense of the question, the Yaoundé Douala Highway construction project is under the best, we can say what, under the best or favorable condition. So among the words that we have, you see that the word that relates well is auspices. So it's under the best auspices. When I saw, wait, thank you. Okay, next question. Next question now comes from these two questions in English language. It's in general knowledge, right? Because general knowledge is everything. You understand? That's why I said it's general knowledge first. When I saw this crowd, I couldn't stop thinking. Contextually, that's the correct answer. 35 and last. 35 and last. Nuclear power plant explosion could cause. The answer is what? Hecatomb. There are options there, right? Among them, the best answer is hecatomb. What do we mean by hecatomb? Hecatomb, H-E-C-A-T-O-M-B. It refers to a catastrophic event that causes mass casualties. We call it a hecatomb. A hecatomb. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the 223 session for the Jadam entrance general knowledge, which was allocated 2 hours. At this juncture, intersection and Sangam, I think you are in a better position to handle some little problems that you may face in the examination hall. Okay, and I would say that I may have to end here for now, so that I will meet up with my various programs too. This is something that just came up, and I said it is of cardinal importance that I address you guys with this lesson personally. So I can say I'll come back again. I'll have another session with you. I'll announce. I don't know yet. Between now and evening, I'll announce. It can be this night, or it depends anytime from now, but not tomorrow, because all right. So today is Friday, right? Good luck to every one of you. Until we see again. Bye. Please come and off this.